morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, well, we've got new Leafeon and Glaceon to talk about, and we absolutely will be talking about new Leafeon and new Glaceon. But the real interesting thing today, the real thing on which we need to be focusing, is a new Eevee. And for those that are a fan of the artist, it is a so-so Eevee. And I know that a bunch of people do collect that particular artist. I know they're pretty gosh darn popular. But we're focused more on the Eevee. Now, I should mention our translations come from the lovely Antoine Boulet, who continues to provide our translations because, you know, Antoine is awesome. And it's not the 2 energy, 20 damage. Although, weirdly, you could put a double turbo energy on here and do 0 damage. Why would you want to? I don't know. You just might. Sounds funny. But the point is, you can, and that's the important thing. What is way more important, however, is the ability, which when you look at it, you're like, Energy Evolution is back! It's not. Let me say that right off the bat. Energy Evolution is an ability we've seen multiple times before, and it's a really, really good ability that we like very, very much indeed. It's not that. Energy Evolution is when you attach an energy to Eevee, you get to search for an evolution of the same type as the energy you just attached, and then evolve into it. It's what has made Eevees really good in the past. We've actually had that ability a couple of times. We had that ability, I believe the first time we got it was actually many years ago at this stage. We are going right back to Unseen Forces, where we had Energy Evolution, that's a proper deep cut at this stage. We then had it more recently on Furious Fist, which is where I became enamored with the ability, and then we saw it most recently on the Eevee from Sun and Moon, which at this stage was a few years ago in fact. That's not a particularly recent card. This is not Energy Evolution, but it seems like it's the best we're going to have, and that honestly makes me a little bit sad. Now, according to Antoine, what we do here is once during your turn, when you evolved one of your other Eevee by playing a Pokemon from your hand, you may search your deck for an evolution card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on this Pokemon to evolve it. Now, a couple of things, and these will need to be confirmed, right? When we get proper rulings, we will need to confirm these, but a couple of things straight off the bat from Antoine's translation. And let's all remember, Antoine is really good at this, so generally speaking, we can take this as pretty good. No, it's not going to work for Eevee V, because Eevee V is not Eevee. It does not say, evolved one of your cards with Eevee in the name. It is one of your other Eevees, i.e. the card has to be called Eevee, and Eevee V and Eevee are not the same, so you can't do that. And then in a weirder thing, it's not going to let you chain, because when you use the ability, you're attaching from your deck, so you're not attaching from your hand, so you can't activate another ability, but you wouldn't need to. Because if I've got 4 Eevee out on the field, I evolve one, all of their abilities will then activate. There's no note on the card. There would need to be a note on the card saying, you can only use this once at a time or anything like that. It just says, once during your turn, when you evolve one of your other Eevees by playing a Pokemon from your hand, you may search your deck for an evolution card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on this Pokemon to evolve it. So as soon as you evolve one, all the other 3 abilities should activate at the same time. And then you just resolve them all at once, all in a row. And this is where we get super excited. Let's be clear, I still don't think it's as good as Energy Evolution. Energy Evolution is that brilliant go second, attach an energy, evolve straight away, and then get attacking. That's what was great about Energy Evolution. And I played a bunch of decks with Energy Evolution over the years. However, if I can swarm Eevees onto the field, I evolve one, all the other abilities trigger, and then I get all of them at once. That sounds pretty good. Also, as a side note here, what you're essentially doing is taking multiple cards out of your deck at once, which is going to make the rest of your game a bit more consistent. Also, bear in mind that this kind of breaks the rules of evolution, so you don't have to have all 4 in play, and then next turn evolve one. Only one of them needs to be in play, And then next turn, you can evolve that one from your hand, and you could have played the other 3 on that same turn, and then evolve them immediately. That's kind of awesome. This is a phenomenal ability. I still don't like it as much as Eevee Evolution, but you can absolutely swarm Eevees onto the field here. Well, you get the Eevees out, but you can literally evolve one from your hand and then evolve all the other Eevees, bearing in mind you get to search your deck for any Eevee Evolution you like and then go for it. And that is actually genuinely stunning. I liked this ability when I saw it, and then I realized that all 3 would trigger at the same time if you had 4 Eevees out, and now I like it very, very much indeed. Although again, I still would prefer it have Energy Evolution. Here's the thing. What Eevees are we playing right now? Because I don't know of any that are really seeing a whole bunch of play. Like, the best ones we've got at the moment, again, bearing in mind the V's and all don't count, are really the trio that we got in Vivid Voltage. So, you know, you've got the Flareon that with a memory capsule attached turns off grass Pokemon's abilities, the Jolteon which turns off water Pokemon's abilities, and the Vaporeon which turns off fire Pokemon abilities. They're okay, but I do think it's absolutely fair to say that none of them are particularly setting the world on fire, to use a Flareon pun. They're nice cards, but is anyone really making a deck around them? I honestly don't think they are. So we do run into the issue here of, okay, they're here and that's lovely, but what are we using with this Eevee? And I honestly don't think there's any evolution we've got around at the moment which is particularly good enough. We have had that whole set of promos recently, but which of them are we actually trying to play? And the answer is I don't know any of them. Now, the good news is we got a new Leafeon and Glaceon we're going to look at in just a moment, and maybe that means we're getting more Eevees down the line, and we might get some really playable ones which will make this Eevee amazing. For now, I don't know. So what we've got here is a Leafeon for free energy to 120 and can't attack next turn. I don't think that's a good attack, because the energy cost is a bit too much. Yes, you can use Cherim to accelerate the energy onto there, and that's lovely, but you're still talking free energy. Let's not get too excited. I don't think it's particularly good. I do, however, like one colorless energy. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energies of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. And you've got to think that is Pokemon trying to set us up for an Evolution deck. You've got to, because it's too perfect. You play a whole bunch of different Evolutions and then Leafeon is your way to get them out. And remember, as long as you had one Eevee on turn 1, if you evolve that on turn 2, you can evolve all your Eevees, and then you can have a Leafeon to accelerate energy and whatever other Eevees you like. Again, when you're searching with Eevee's ability, you're searching for any of them, and that could actually set you up quite nicely. So if we do have an Evolution deck rolling, this Leafeon could be a really good, hopefully go first turn 2 option, but you're still accelerating energy and then leaving Leafeon in the active to take a hit. Against most decks, you're probably giving up a prize to use this attack, and I do question whether it's worth it. Moving on to Glaceon, we've again got free energy 120. You can attack next turn, but it's 2 colored, 1 colorless. Again, we've got a stage 1 Pokemon that can accelerate the energy onto there. It is Frostmoth, although that will be rotating in August, September time. So, yay, I suppose. But we've got quite a nice attack. Single water energy, 30 damage during your opponent's next turn. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from their evolved Pokemon, which is fine. That's fine. That's lovely. But it's 30 damage, and 30 damage is not a lot. And the fact of the matter is, you've only got 110 HP. So what you really want to do here is sit and just force your opponent to not be able to attack. But because of the nature of the attack, they're always going to be able to use the pre-evolutions, and you got 110 HP. They're going to have, you've got to imagine, they're going to have something that can take you down. So, I don't know, maybe, those Zoroark decks that are becoming trendier and trendier lately, that play a whole bunch of different stage 1s, maybe they don't have a good attack. that can take you down? I think they probably will somewhere, but there is a chance that, something like the Zoroark from Evolving Skies, you just end up with a bunch of, evolving basics which are rubbish. Certainly against VMAX decks, you got to imagine the V can take you down. Maybe against things like Zoroark, you'll have more of a chance, but I am still a little bit skeptical, shall we say. Either way, it's still a very useful attack. But we end up in the situation we were a moment ago, where I'm still looking at this and going, I love Eevee's ability. It's not the same. No one's arguing it's the same. But I still love Eevee's ability. The problem is, what I really want to do is swarm multiple Eeveelutions and go nuts. And there is no Eeveelutions at the moment I want to swarm. I'm still giving Eevee between 4 and 5 Wassies, but I don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. And it's not because I think it's a phenomenal card now, which is going to immediately shape up the metagame. It's because I think there is so much potential here that there has got to be something we can do if we get the right Eeveelutions down the line. And it's one of those, if we get the right Eeveelutions, this will become a stunning card. And it's going to be in the format for 2 or 3 years. Cards always are, so cross your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. Cross your fingers. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would you? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.